Hey guys, welcome back. You know what time it is? It's time to build something. I was having an idea today as I was going through kind of my task list. Right now I've been using Google to manage tasks because it's so easy to just throw a task in, even if you've already done that task to kind of keep track of what you've done, or to put new tasks in to send them to new days or to plan them for today. But the problem I'm always having is that task list just grows and it grows. And you know what it's like if you maintain tasks, or maybe you work for a company that has a backlog of items that just grows forever. And there's always difficulty in figuring out what to work on at what time. And sometimes I lean towards what can I do in the next 5 or 10 minutes to get this task list shortened, because it becomes a burden, right? Having a long task list, you don't want to look at it, makes you not want to even do work. But then there's some of those tasks that take 4 hours or many days. And you're like, I don't even want to start that because I know it's going to take me forever. So I thought there has to be a better way to create and manage tasks. Now, listen, I know there are a million task items or software out there. I know there's Trello, Todoist. I mean, there's a ton. So why would I even do this again? Well, I've tried some of those and I just came up wanting, right? I came up thinking this is too complex to integrate. I don't want my task list to also be a task, right? I don't want to just continue to manage this. So maybe there's an easier way. And I was thinking of social media, how we thumb through things, and how, obviously there's these kind of dating apps where you thumb left and right. Um, what if you could incorporate that into a task list, and kind of at the end of the day, just look at what you have for the next day or the next week and kind of swipe around to plan your day, or even in the morning kind of swipe around to plan your day. And maybe it gave you feedback and said like, hey, your day is full, like, do you want to push anything out, or your week is full, or hey, you've been pushing this off for a long time, do you really need to do it? That would be awesome to build something like that. So what did I do? I jumped into ChatGPT and I started giving it ideas on what I wanted to create. I started saying, make me a design document, a technical design document, and let's put it into Replit. So that's the stage I'm at right now. Why don't you join me and let's do this? All right, here we go. We're going to jump right in. So you can see here I have Replit open. I have ChatGPT on the left-hand side. As I said, I've already communicated with GPT on what I want to do. It really was a quick back and forth, maybe a couple, questions, a couple responses, and then I got this output that kind of gives me some mock data. So all I'm going to do is there's a copy button in the left-hand corner. I'm copying that from GPT. I'm just going to paste it right in here. Since it pasted a document and not directly inline, I'm going to give it a little context. Hey, I'm trying to create, let's see, I want to create a to-do app. Take a look at my design document and let's start. Simple as that, right? Do a little design work beforehand, think through it a little bit, how the system works, how you as a customer want to experience that design app, and then have GPT and the code and the AI help you organize your thoughts into meaningful action. So let's look here. Core concept is solo task planner. Key features from your design, natural language, task input, like that's super important, right? The idea there that I can say, I need to do the laundry today and it takes 30 minutes, right? It should be able to parse the idea of today and 30 minutes and maybe even put it on the calendar, or say, hey, this is too long, it won't fit on your today's task list. So some of those things I really want to incorporate in here. And look at this. Before I could even finish talking, it's already got this visual preview for us. Flow, focus, natural language, swipe-based, time capacity tracking, investigate button to cover vague tasks. And what does that mean? So that's the idea of like, this task is going to take 4 hours or 3 days. And if it is going to do that, like, you really need to break it down or chunk it down into a smaller daily task. Like, I need to do this for 1 hour today, right? I want to take that task and say, what can I do today in a small increment of time to make progress toward that larger goal? Okay. So let's take a look at what they did here. Later we can, okay, obviously Google Calendar, I'm glad they moved some of that stuff off. You don't want to do the complexity of APIs and authentication before you kind of just see if what your idea is works, what the prototype is, and does it work. A lot of times, and people don't talk about this, when you're building a early business, I've been a part of, I think, 6 startups now. And when you're building that early business, you have to have the mindset that what you're building is probably going to be thrown away. Now, that sounds terrible, but you're prototyping in those early stages. You're making a lot of technical debt trade-offs. What does that mean? You're making shortcuts, right? To get your software out in front of people, to build an audience or a community right away, you're making shortcuts. And when you need to scale, those shortcuts can eat you alive. And so you're kind of making this product with the idea that you're going to throw this away eventually. So you could do the authentication and stuff later once you get the core idea together. So let's take a look. It looks like something broke, or maybe it's designing the visual preview now. Let's see. And it also looks like Replit updated their interface here, which is pretty interesting. Let's just approve the plan because I don't know what it's doing right now. But it's probably just taking time to build this. And fortunately, when you start building games, they will take more time, right? Because there's animations, there is more interactions. There's like a state machine that, says, oh, go from this state to this state once the user takes this interaction, and make sure that that state is updated. You have some of that in these kind of apps, these smaller apps, these web apps, but not as much. And so it should produce something a little bit faster. Oh, we got an error. Something's going on here. So actually what I'll do is, let me just open a new tab and refresh it. I've never seen that error in Replit before. So let's see what actually happened. Let's go to our apps. We'll go to Task Swiper. Let's open up the side panel here and see. So it looks like attached assets. We don't have anything here. This is the first time I've seen this actually error out. So let's see if it catches up. Okay, it looks like it's actually catching up, which is great. So let's close these files. I don't know where these files are being stored there. This is a visual preview, and there's no, as you can see on the left-hand side, I don't have any files. So it's creating some kind of visual preview outside of my file tree. Send screenshots, determining next steps, draft a landing page, email investors. 15 minutes today. This is pretty cool, right? It's adding the time, it's adding today, it's telling me what's coming up tomorrow and what's in my backlog. So part of the hope here is maybe there are days or there are times during the day when you can jump into this app on mobile, maybe when you sit down on the couch at night, and you can just swipe through, like, what do I need to do tomorrow? And what did I do today? Maybe you accomplished something and forgot to check it off. I think that would be really neat and useful to do something that's super quick, that's very akin to social media, right? We're already swiping when we sit down, and make it a good practice for us to end the day or start the day with those same swipe motions. All right. I don't think this is interactable yet, but I like this. I like this, natural language. Write a pitch deck for 90 minutes tomorrow. And you can see here, put it in 90 minutes tomorrow, but I think this is just visual. And you can see on the left-hand side, it's already starting to build these packages and these scripts for us. It's using JavaScript, it's using TypeScript. I think the original instructions, which we can look at here, recommended, okay, you can see here, the front end is React, backend, no backend. Okay, so we're just using a JSON file right now for sample data. That's totally fine. As I said, this is a prototype. Local storage, yep. So because we're just using React, it's just all front end. I thought it was going to do React Native, which I was a little concerned about because that would be useful on an app, and we could do that later. But right now it's just doing all front end, which is totally fine. Yeah, it's got to have TSX. CSS. Okay, great. Well, let's see. Is this functional? Looks like it's still working. I can't do anything on this preview yet. Oh, okay. It's creating the fully interactive version. You know what we can do too? We can chat with GPT. So I'm on the left box here in the corner. How could we also set a time to swipe through cards at the end of the day or beginning of the day to really make it easy to plan? I know we have a visual representation of cards and when they are due, but I want to make it brain dead simple to swipe around and plan a day or the week even. Here is a current mock-up of where I'm at on Replit. So since we already got to that space, I'm going to add this to it. So let's see what this is. I mean, the colors here are quite awful, actually. I don't know what happened to these colors. I'll take a screenshot for both, actually. What happened to the colors? It's yellow on white, which is hard to read. Okay, I'll put that in, but I won't send it yet because there might be more things that I want to do. Plan, date, night, 30 minutes for Friday. Today. Let's do that. Plan, date, night, ins. I don't know what ins is. Plan, date, night, 30 minutes today. It's not the 29th. It's the 30th. At least my day is. Today's capacity 0. So this is interesting. I don't know why it's behind on a day, but this yellow is awful. But what can I do with this? Can I swipe it? Look at that. That was interesting. I don't understand what happened. Move to today. Okay, I think I swiped at a certain area. So, okay, let's say take dog for a walk on Saturday, 20 minutes. Let's see what this does. Oh, look right here. Swipe to categorize this task. Today, backlog, tomorrow, or investigate. Tomorrow is Saturday, and it's kind of messing up the words here. Let's put that in a screenshot too. I hope that wasn't my typing. It also looks like some words are cut off when I type something in. In this image, you can see the M on minutes is gone for some reason. Okay, I hope that wasn't my fault. Okay, so tomorrow, let's grab it and swipe it up. Did that work? No, it didn't work. It's not working. But I guess I can hit the button. Maybe I'm not on mobile, right? Tomorrow. Cool. I mean, that is pretty cool. I do like that. Maybe I would make it a bigger square. So I have 30 minutes planned today. Let's do another one here. Plan out my week next week, 30 minutes. I don't know what it's going to do for next week, right? Okay, it definitely is causing problems with typing. Plan out my week minutes. Maybe it's truncating it or something. It's really strange. This is today. Okay, this is super cool. Like it's adding an 8-hour day. Have lunch today at noon. Have lunch at noon. This is today. I mean, it should know that it's today. I shouldn't have to swipe it. This is cool though. Okay, so let's say I planned out my week. Boom. That's interesting. So it says I have more time available, which is not accurate, right? So I'll take a screenshot there. I don't want to add too much to this backlog here. Also, when I marked off a task, the minutes available for the day actually went up. Like I just had more time available, which is wrong. And this one here, have lunch at noon. I should be able to edit that. I should be able to say for 1 hour. I also noticed that I placed an item that had no time frame, but I can't edit it, i.e. have lunch at noon today. I didn't say this should be for 1 hour. Okay. I'm going to send another screenshot in. And I'm going to add that same screenshot over here to GPT because I want it to think about the swiping mechanics. There is swiping mechanics, but for these little tiny cards, I'm not sure if that's fun or exciting for this type of app. It should be almost full screen, right? You agree? You know, there's an app that my kids play on. Let's say it's called S'mores. I like this app. app s'mores chores. I'm just going to type that in and try to find it here on Google. That's the one, right? Look at this. You can see, this might be a good example. Override advanced settings. There is, they do a good job of having full, like this right here. So this is like a full swipe, okay? So I'm going to copy this because this is pretty cool. Check out the sample chore app s'mores where it has a full card with information on it. What do you think? Okay, so GPT is doing a little work. Obviously, Replit's doing work. I'm going to kill the other Replit up there. Okay, what issues are we having? I can see several issues that need to be fixed. Let's see, what is it fixing? Edit functionality for tasks, that's fine. Color contrast, that's fine. Capacity, hopefully it's going to find this error if we just let it do its thing. I have no idea where this yellow is coming from. I don't like the yellow. I would never say make it yellow, but hopefully it just gets rid of that idea. Okay, GPT says we're right on track. Full screen cards are the way to go. Okay, I agree. I was on the right track. UX vision, planning, flow mode, full screen swipe deck. Okay, so this is kind of another feature, I would say. So I'm creating the app. I also want a feature. I'm going to have to figure out at some point how to incorporate this into the app, right? Without blowing it up. Here we are with the yellow again. Maybe I just need to let this finish. Okay, technical suggestions. Swiper library like Swiper.js. I wonder if we already are using Swiper.js. Let's see what's in the app here. React Query Toaster. We're using Toaster. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a similar app that pops up things, right? Components. Okay. Anyway, it looks like we're at another crossroad here. The app should work much better. Can you test add in a task without a time? It should get 30 minutes automatically. Edit existing task. Let's see if we can edit one. Yes, we can edit. What is this yellow? What is happening? This yellow is horrendous. Horrendous. I don't even know how to spell it. Horrendous. That's terrible. 2 R's maybe? Horrendous. Horrendous. This yellow is horrendous. Screenshot. Let's use a color palette like choose something like a favorite game, right? My kids are into Minecraft lately. Like Minecraft. Let's do I love these retro vibes. Retro, vaporwave, vibe, like neon blues, greens. I don't know, like neon colors. Let's not give it colors. Let's see what it does. Okay. We're getting close. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and this is the state of AI. I've said that before. You have to work with it, right? It's kind of like AI child. Eventually it won't be like this. I think it'll be a lot better. And what it's doing is it's going out there and it's taking design ideas from previous designers. You know, like what have people done in the past? What is a better user experience that people have said this is the way to go? And how can we incorporate that in what we're currently doing? I see the yellow is quite overwhelming. Neon colors. I hope it's not doing this brown. Okay, these colors are interesting, kind of neons. I guess that yellow is neon. Oh, look at this. That's interesting. Okay, I'm gonna put this other iteration of GPT in here, see if it gets to a good state, and then we'll close off and see if we want to continue building this, right? I'm gonna put it in here. Here is another idea for a full screen swipe mode. What do you think of this? How would we incorporate this mode? Or would it just be part of the main screen? I probably could give it more guidance design-wise. You can really dig in and say, hey, here's a blend of these type of apps that I really like. I want you to bring their user experience in. I want to bring that UI in, at least the style guide, the general trends of how these apps function. Bring those into this app and let's do it. I honestly feel like something broke with Replit because this brown, like what is this brown? Where is this coming from? I want to see Like, okay, so there's this foreground, white text, dark purple, light gray. It's definitely not light gray. Neon blues and pinks, cyan. Like, what is this? I'm going to inspect this color and see. If you ever need to inspect something, you can do this. You might be able to get some details, but like, it's just weird, right? All right, so what color is this? Is this the background color? You can kind of jump, get the screen refresh, so it may not be able to help me right now. Let's see what it does. Well, it's taking some time for sure. Did it finish? Okay. This brown, it's so weird, right? Let me ask it too. Also, what is this brown color? Let's make some standard colors. Even if we have to go back to black and white, all of these colors don't mix well. I don't know what it's doing. I can't even read this, but look at this. Write pitch deck. Okay, let's do write a plan to go camping, you know, something next week, next Tuesday. I'm curious if it's that smart. Let's see what it does. Write a plan to go camping next Tuesday. Oh, right. I only got today and tomorrow. I guess I'm going to backlog that. No due date. I can't add a due date. Let's see if I can edit. Let's see. Edit. Backlog. Category tomorrow. Duration. This text is so weird too, right? It's like a funky text. Okay, let's do this one last edit. I don't think I added the picture of the brown color. And we have the huge GPT prompt. So in some cases, I may be breaking kind of these cardinal rules. In most cases, if you're building a prototype, or especially if you have a larger app that you're trying to just do small updates to, I would encourage you to just do like one little prompt, like, hey, I want you to change these colors to something more like this. Enter, done, move on. If you're telling it to do multiple things at a time, it can really get messy. And in the beginning, I assume it'll kind of figure things out, but you can see here clearly it's not figuring this out. Like, it went back to yellow. I don't even understand where this yellow is coming from. Like, what is this? I'm gonna inspect this. Like, it's all yellow now. This is crazy. Look at, here's the RGB color, border, bottom color, solid pixel. What is this? I want to get the, I don't want the RGB because the RGB is probably gonna be the hex color instead. That's not the right color. I think we've already moved on to white. Where is that other color? I think it's just crazy that the color. So it's BG color, BG background. Let's go into the index and find BG desk background. BG background, apply. It's not even in here. Components, see if there's CSS anywhere else, pages. This is the main CSS. And let's see, so app TSX should have the CSS in it. I'm going to close this so I have a little more space here. Okay, not in there. There's index, home TSX. It's not pulling it in. Index, tailwind. Okay, BG, background. It's interesting that this is right here. I'm going to search all files for this. So it looks like it only exists in TSX, in this CSS file. Apply BG background. It's like not even in here. So maybe that's the problem, is it's having trouble finding the color because it's messing up somehow. It's not able to. What's a tailwind config? Here's a background color. But where is this? Default sidebar background. Okay, so the issue may not be the color, but perhaps the CSS isn't attached properly. All right, let's tell it that. That's my assumption. You're right. Let me check the CSS issue. As you can see, I couldn't find that CSS anywhere in the code. So, I mean, I found the CSS file, but it didn't look like it was being referenced. So there's a task card. Let's see what this does. BG card border, backdrop blur, medium, capacity meter. It's adding all these changes, but I don't know if it's doing what we want. Let's see. Yeah, it's brutal. That yellow is just brutal. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Show me where the CSS color of the background is and how it attaches to the main app in the code. Because on screen, I see all yellow. So you can do this as well. You can even have it explain to you what's going on. There's a yellow background overriding our CSS. Let me trace through the CSS attachment and fix this. So main TSX. So this has index CSS, which is here. Import from app. TSX, that's that one there. Where's that getting stuff from? It's just got components. Okay. It may have found something. It's gone to white instead of yellow, right? And this is just a part of troubleshooting. You know, you could probably take your same prompt and put it into a new replit and maybe at that point give it better direction on the colors that you want. But I've never seen it really go this deep in like causing problems with colors. So let's see what else it does. Change the app's background. So like, it's interesting that it has, if you notice here, this app is different than my app. So whatever it's looking at is different. The screenshot you showed is different than what my app looks like. I need you to really dig into how the CSS is applied across the app and make sure it's implemented according to spec and other app standards. So let's see if we give it a little more instruction, if it'll recover. It's always going to tell you you're right? That's the hard thing about AI. It's always there to please. So it just wants to please every user and tell them that their ideas are amazing. So don't take that to mean that your ideas are amazing. I'm not saying you don't have great ideas. I'm just saying you got to do the research and you got to get to the fun and you got to test it out. And AI can be a good encourager, but it can also lead you down the wrong path and it hallucinates and things like that. So look at that. We finally got to it. It took us a couple prompts, but we finally got to the state where it was not broken anymore. Let's see what it said the issues were. The problem is that the CS variables are defined with space separating values like 255, but Tailwind expects them to be used with HSL. Okay, so it was a format with Tailwind. And that's the prompt that you kind of want to use to say like, hey, whatever you're using, go out and find the solution to this because you're doing something wrong, right? So we did that. Let's take this last little step, see if we can get something interesting going here. See if we can test this and get some of these features tested and see how we did. Now, I'd obviously test this on the mobile phone. I would deploy it. You can see on the left-hand side, if you go to this little green arrow, you can hit deployments. You can set up your deployment, just approve these standard settings. Right here, it lets you choose a name. You don't have to put your name on it, but task swiper. Okay, that's fine, task swiper. So I won't deploy yet, but I'll make sure that the preview is done first. Let me get rid of this. And let's see, once we get kind of that purple box on the left-hand side, I'll just immediately deploy. That way I have something out in the wild that I can test on the phone. It's still gonna be a web app, but at least I can go to the web and I can test on my phone and see how it works. Okay, it looks like that's done there. I'm going to go here and deploy. It's gonna be task.swiper.replit.app. You may even be able to see it if you wanna give it a try. And let's check it out. Let's just do what they said here. Write a pitch deck tomorrow 2 hours. Write a pitch deck. Okay, it still messed up the text. I don't know why. 2 hours today. I actually want that. Can I swipe it up? I don't think the swipe is going to work, right? Let's do tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow take dog for a walk, write a pitch deck. Can we edit it? Write a pitch deck. I mean, that was 2 hours, so it didn't really need that. Maybe that's the problem. So let's save changes. Okay, the edit works. Can I move this to today? That's pretty cool. And look, my capacity went up 2 hours. Let's say I finish that pitch deck. What happens to my capacity? It increased. So I have more capacity, which is not good. So anyways, you can start taking this task list. You can start taking your features. You can start editing what it is you want to create and start writing down the features, start adding things. I would say when you get to this point, I would start talking to the AI one by one and say, okay, here's a small feature. I want to change the background color to this. I want to make sure that my capacity doesn't change when I complete a task for the day. Just one line item at a time. Let it do its work so that way it doesn't get confused and cause more problems. But thank you for joining me in kind of creating a simple task app. I hope you get out there and just try creating something. If you don't like it, it's really easy just to go back, at least in Replit, to the app section, start a new app, try again, just learn how to communicate with the AI. There's always that joke that when people say AI is going to take over, there's always the joke that, yeah, that's great because you're going to lean on CEOs and executives to actually know what they want to build. And since they generally never know what they want to build with any great detail, all of our jobs are safe because we're left kind of picking up the pieces of trying to understand the ambiguity. And that's exactly what AI is. And so it reminds me of that story of that guy that was trying to teach his kids how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and how to write instructions for making that sandwich, right? And he ends up like throwing the knife inside the jelly jar, the peanut butter jar, the bread's all sideways, because you have to be so specific in what you want to build sometimes, because there's a lot of information that gets lost in translation. And you will learn those skills when you work with AI. Don't get frustrated. Just think of it as, okay, now I'm learning how to better communicate with this computer that's really just taking inputs and outputting, what it believes I wanted. So I encourage you to go build something. Thank you for watching today, and I will see you next time.